And welcome to 520 Sports Talk, episode number 46. Almost at that magical number 52, which I think is a full year, if I'm not
Last time
wrong.
I checked.
Right? Anyways, welcome back to 520 Sports Talk. For Andy, that is Bill. I am Sean, back for another week. Football season is officially in swing. We had the Hall of Fame game. Cowboys and Cardinals, right?
Yep.
And so football is officially back in our second week in a row with high school football. We're very excited. Back on the northwest side, we have the Ironwood Ridge Nighthawks joining us on the show this week. They're right down the street from where our new location here at Bianchi's Italian Restaurant. We're up at the corner of Thornydale and Tangerine.
Don't let the road construction scare you away. We're here.
Seriously, it's amazing. The food is fantastic. I've seen two of the biggest pizzas, and they look so good, so I'm going to be partaking of that in a little bit. But thank you so much for joining us again. Bianchi's Italian, our newest sponsor up here in Marana. You may know about their location over at Silver Bell near Speedway.
Over by West Campus.
Yeah, over by Pima West Campus, but this is a newer location. They've been here for a couple of years now, but it's fantastic. Great food. Come on down to Bianchi's Italian food up here in Marana, Thornydale and Tangerine. It's near the Fry Shopping Center, so come on down and join us. We're here for the next hour, and feel free to send your questions through on Facebook. I know we are live. We're also recorded. You can catch us afterwards on Facebook. The shows stay there. I'm committed the major sin of having my volume up on my phone, so sorry about that. I know. But anyways, thank you so much for joining us again. Bianchi's Italian Restaurant. We're here with Coach Matt Johnson. Matt, thank you so much for joining us. If you'll indulge me for about 3 minutes so I can go over some of our sponsors, then we're going to just dive right into the good stuff. So, in addition to Bianchi's, we want to make sure that you're joining our sponsors. Take them up on their offers, especially with the heat staying around. I remember last year it was 100 degrees on Halloween, so I think we have the heat to stay for a little bit. So Oasis Air Conditioning and Heating, David Murrieta. Contact David at Oasis Air Conditioning and Heating. Make sure the AC is still functioning all the way through into the winter months when it's still 100 degrees outside. Oasis Air Conditioning. They will treat you right. Stray Dogs. Fantastic food and 17-inch donuts, and now Bill did it with the volume on the iPad, so it's not just me.
We got to have equal opportunity gaffes here.
Right. Stray Dogs will be there next week with the Pima women's volleyball team.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should be a great show. Additionally, Brittany Palma with the A to B team at First Heritage Realty. Moving the healthy way.
Moving the healthy way.
Move the healthy way.
That's right. And if you've ever seen Brittany, she's extremely healthy.
She does everything the healthy
competitor.
way.
We've had her on the show before. One of the best realtors in town. I think along with Chris, she never sleeps.
Well, and that's you mentioned that. It's a great segue into our next sponsor. But check out Brittany at the A to B team, First Heritage Realty. You'll see her picture and phone number right across the screen, so make sure you give her a guy. If you're looking to buy a home, if you're looking to sell a home, she'll treat you right, which leads me into the next part about home ownership, which is getting a loan for it. Chris Lawler with Nova Home Loans, loansbylawler.com. He never sleeps. Bill was right. He never sleeps. If you want a loan approval at 3 o'clock in the morning, he's going to be working for you. So make sure to call Chris Lawler and loansbylawler.com. The next location we have here, Micha's Mexican Restaurant down on 4th Avenue. They're our very first sponsor, so check out Micha's on 4th Avenue. Also, Micha's Catering, I believe. MichasCatering.com, I believe, is their website, so check out Micha's on 4th Avenue. Fantastic Mexican food. I know Bill eats there a couple times a week. Snap Fitness. And then when you're done picking out on all that Mexican food, see John Marshall over at Snap Fitness at River and La Cañada. Get trained up. We can't all be studs like the guys over at the on the football team. I know coach is probably pretty big on the fitness and conditioning. So, but if you're not in high school and can't take advantage of that, go down to Snap Fitness, see John Marshall over there.
That's right.
Zona 78. We were there last week with the Sabino football team. Amazing pizza. I had the Thai chicken. Amazing pizza down at Zona 78. They are right. Tanque Verde as it's kind of coming over
right across from
Canyon.
Park is probably the easiest way to find it.
Exactly. So it's fantastic. I want to say hey to a few people watching right now. Toby, speaking of Toby Bourget, TucsonAlist.com. So Tucson A-List, if you're looking for a quality service provider, TucsonAlist.com. So make sure to check them out. Yeah, exactly. And additionally, Andy Taylor Media. Thank you so much, Andy, for making this look great, bringing us live on Facebook and everything. So Tucson A-List, Andy Taylor Media. I'm just trying to think of going over my list here, and I think I got everyone.
I think we got it.
I know, very exciting. So now to the moment we've all been waiting for. What's that? All right. So anyways, Andy trying to keep me on my toes, and thank you very much. So now, back to the business at hand right here. Without further ado, thank you so much, Coach Matt Johnson with the Ironwood Ridge Nighthawks football team. Coach, tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been with the program, and what you're looking forward to most this season.
I've been the teenage boys, highs and lows. We'll see what they do each day.
Right.
So we got the mics.
There we go. Yeah.
There we go. There's the competitive side to it, and then there's also just watching these young men grow up, make mistakes and learn.
Right.
And hopefully compete their butts off and learn some life lessons about effort and achievement.
Right.
And aspiring to be great.
Now, speaking of, both sides of it, the athletic side and then also the mentoring side, how do you and your coaching staff approach, the mentoring side? I mean, up here in Oro Valley, it may be a little different than down here in Tucson, but still kids come from different walks of life, and everyone's an individual. There's no two kids alike. You have to treat some with kid gloves, and some of them you get in their face, and and kind of be like old school football coach. But do you sit down with each player before the season, and have a one-on-one with them?
Through the course of the year, every season really starts, in January, and possibly even December.
Right.
So we'll start talking with our returning seniors the Monday after we finish playoffs. So we'll start there. I'll talk with the kids that I know are all in. We'll talk about their goals. We'll talk about college recruiting. We'll talk about what they need to do to make their senior year be the dream they want it to be. And we'll talk about life.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, it's one of those things whether, I try and talk with each kid, where are you going to be in 10 years? What's your skill going to be? I know we all love football and we all want to be professional athletes, but are you going to go to college? If you're going to go to college, what's the actual job?
Right.
I know a bunch of guys with college degrees that can't get a job.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
So what's it going to be? Are we talking, are you going to go, become a welder? You're going to get a skill? There's a lot of ways to make money.
Sure.
We just got to make sure they have some plan somehow.
Right.
And that it's not, I'm going to play football, and after the NFL, I'm going to open up my charity.
Yeah.
Because I've had that told to me quite a bit as well. And so it's
really?
like, okay. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, look,
And that's great.
Lord willing, that all happens for you, but I still want you to be able to find some type of fallback, whether it's, my one player, Jake Matthews, is getting ready to enter med school.
Wow.
I've got other kids starting businesses in landscaping. I don't care what it is, but let's have a plan.
Sure.
So that you're taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your family, and that you're able to contribute.
How many of your players from last season are currently playing in college football now?
We finished with 8 kids that ended up with athletic scholarships or
Great.
partial athletic scholarships. A couple of those decided to walk on to bigger schools and forego the scholarships and try and compete. So I've got one kid at the University of New Mexico, one at the University of Arizona. This is from last year's team only.
Sure.
Okay.
So one at the University of New Mexico, one at the University of Arizona, one at Arizona State. And then we got a whole bunch of guys. One went back to a Division II school in Ohio.
Okay.
So we're looking at 8 total when it's all said and done. And
that's fantastic.
And a lot of them, even then the other guys, I've got a lot of guys that got plans. They're in boot camp. They've already got their mission with the military that they're going to do. I think it's MOS is their term, the mission.
Right.
And so we got a lot of guys moving on and doing good stuff.
That's fantastic, and I know that if you're looking for a little feeder, if they're not ready for the D1 or D2 schools, Pima right down the road is going to have a monster team this year.
They are. They've got I know they have one of my kids, David Apodaca, is going to play for them, and certainly a talented young man, and they've got a great coaching staff down there.
Great staff. We had them on a couple weeks ago down at Stray Dogs, and with the assistance, a little bit of help from Coach Tomey, who's helping out with the team. They've got a few D1 transfers that came in from Illinois and Indiana.
And Rutgers,
that are really going to help out. So it's a great feeder system from here, but we know that a lot of teams don't have the same success in putting kids into college and in the ranks that they're doing. I love the philosophy that you have in terms of, starting very organic. I mean, it's obviously that they love football, they're playing football, they're being coached up very well. But what are you going to plan on beyond your high school career? Because football's a crazy business. I mean, and beyond high school, it's
even if your dream comes true and you make it to the NFL,
right?
The average NFL guy is out by 25 years old.
Right, exactly.
It's a 3-year career.
It's a 3-year career.
So even if you live that dream, what are you going to do?
Exactly.
And I liked where you're coming from on that, Coach, because we've had other high school coaches on there, and we're here to talk about football predominantly. I get it, but I like your approach. With being the mentor and showing them basically what the real world's going to be, because like you said, especially at 14, 15, 16 years old, they're looking at hey, I'm going to be in the NFL and stuff like that. As well as I do that less than 1% gets that dream, and if you do, like you said, it could be short-lived. So
yeah, I mean, we always say you see that guy out there working laying asphalt on that street,
right?
He's doing that to take care of his family.
Right. I mean, Kurt Warner.
Right,
bagging groceries.
Bagging groceries.
Exactly.
So you got to find one way or the other. Some ways are easier.
Speaking
being
of
a
which,
teacher's a lot easier. I'll say that.
His speech was pretty epic. I
Yes,
don't know if you
was.
watched all 32 minutes of that speech. It was great.
I didn't watch the whole speech. I got the Reader's Digest version.
Right, and if you're watching right now from here, or if you're watching at home right now live on Facebook, hit the share button right now. Make sure everyone can see it. We have a lot of live viewers. We want to triple that. So make sure to hit the share button right now. We know a lot of people are asking, commenting, interacting. Send the emojis across the screen. Really interact with us, because we are a live show. We do rebroadcast later on the YouTube page, and it stays on the Facebook page. But make sure you're interacting. We have a couple more questions for Coach Johnson, and then we're going to make way for some of the players to come on to the show, and we'll have some fun questions for them as well. So you were talking before the show about how your road warriors at the beginning of the season, your first 4 games on the road.
Yes, sir.
Who's your first game against?
Our first game is against the Marana Tigers. They're kind of got a vintage season coming up. A ton of elite talent.
Right.
I mean, a ton. Their junior class should be one for the ages in Pima County. Just special kids, and it'll be a great test for us. We've got 60 kids on our team, but at the same time, because we're usually so blessed with talent, it means I've got a lot of these kids that haven't played much.
Right.
Because they were behind kids that are in college, so now it's their turn, and they're talented, and now their first starts against a future D1 receiver, a future D1 linebacker, a future college quarterback, and so it's going to be a heck of a great way to open the season, and just a great program that Coach Litton's built out there.
Yeah, we did have them on last season, right before their playoff game. We had them on the show, and we covered their first game, and we did have a lot of their members. I mean, they're basically all from that 7-on-7 team. A
lot of the 7-on-7 national champions play for Marana.
It should be a great test. Now, do you watch film beforehand of them last season? I mean, I know a lot of them didn't really get a whole lot of playing time behind some of the senior class that they had. I know that like Trenton, their quarterback, played behind their senior quarterback last season.
He got a lot of time because their senior quarterback was hurt for 3 or 4 weeks.
Right.
So we're pretty lucky nowadays. These kids, everybody has a Huddle page. The kids do the highlights on Huddle, so I can sit there and I can go to the team's Huddle page and I can watch 15 minutes of the QB's highlights, 15 minutes of the wide receiver, 15 minutes of the linebacker.
Right.
And it's not like it used to be where film trade was as essential, because nowadays it's like, well, I spent 3 days watching their highlights online, and I got a pretty good idea of their core, and we'll still trade film so that we make sure we see everything. But for both staffs, it's kind of football football protocol.
Now,
but,
is this considered? Now I know that they're not. I mean, same district at the same time, but is this considered a rivalry game for you?
I don't know. The distance is kind of such where, you know, we kind of have our in-district rivals, Canyon del Oro.
Right.
And then in terms of proximity, it's Marana Mountain View, just as Marana Mountain View is their Marana's rival. I would say in terms of two programs that I believe respect each other a lot. I know we respect the heck out of them. I would say it's a rivalry in the sense of we could easily see this again in the first, second, third, or even the state finals game. I mean, it's one of those things just depending on how the breaks go.
Right.
They're a high caliber team.
Well, it's two epic programs. I mean, you guys have a long history of success. They've been playing football for 100 years, but recently with Lytton, Coach Bourget, Cedric Steptoe that helps out with them. I mean, you know,
Coach Cortese.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, both of these are the elite programs, in my opinion, in the northwest part of town. So Sean and I have had this game circled for months. Sean's going to be out there actually covering the game for 520 Sports Talk. Yeah. So if you're watching out there, you know, make sure you want to tune into that because Sean will have you know, good pregame, halftime, probably some postgame stuff. We're really looking forward to it. It's kind of like a clash of the Titans, really. Yeah,
it's going to be a fantastic game, and like I said, we covered both of you last season, and it's really an exciting brand of football. I know with the game against Queen Creek at home, I mean, it was close. It wasn't close. There was, I mean, some really great plays.
We had a chance
right down to the
fourth quarter, and
I mean,
it was chance to win the fourth quarter. Went the other way. Now this is going to be. It's just like it's, you know, they're a top 10 team in the state, no doubt, and I feel like we will be by the end of the season as our kids mature. So I think it's just a great way to start the season for fans, for the players, for the coaches. A great way to kick it off.
Yeah, what a way to kick off the season.
I know we had time for one or two more questions. Talk to us about the Dad Club that we always see up at the top of the stands.
Well, you know, we're living in a little bit of a situation at Ironwood Ridge where we have a lot of passion. My parents, they care about football greatly. I've coached at different places around town. This is not a hobby. This is not an afterthought. This is not a daycare program that kids are kind of busy for a couple hours. The parents are all in supporting us, and they care. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's one of those things you want to go to places where there's support, and with that support comes expectations.
Yes.
And comes eyes always watching.
Right.
So when I played high school football at Amphi, when Amphi was Coach Friedley, when it was a real elite program, there'd always be 10 dads.
Yeah.
Kind of a different era back then. There'd be 10 dads smoking cigarettes. And you'd see the smoke. You'd see the smoke puffing up there as they were watching practice and talking about whether or not we were going to get our act together that Friday night or not, you know, and what was going to happen. So, I wouldn't have it any other way. And the dads are great dads, and it's one of those things. They want their kids to have, you know, as good an experience as any place in the country.
Right.
So I always tell people it's a little bit of Texas football.
It's nice too because it's a good testament, you know. And Sean and I have had a discussion about this before. We notice, you know, and it's just not a slight on any other schools, but we notice that the Northwest schools really, really support their teams. I mean, Marana's got good following. Your booster club is crazy.
Very active.
Just every sport, boys, girls, cheerleading, everything. CDO, you know, great parents, you know, at CDO and stuff. I went to a small school, so we played like the Bensons, the Wilcoxes, the Safford, where that's the only game in town.
Right.
And then when you spoke of Texas football, a lot of those places in Texas, you know, you see pickup trucks and people sitting on their tailgates with their headlights on watching the game because that's the only thing to do there. And you know, it's the same. A lot of the Southeast Arizona teams, Pima and stuff. You know, same type of thing.
Yeah.
I coached for 4 years at Rincon. We went to the playoffs for 2 of those years. We had 3 winning seasons, and I don't think I ever saw a Rincon football bumper sticker.
Wow.
Right? You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Whereas up here, Oro Valley, you see everybody's teams. You see the pride in the schools.
Yeah, there really is.
It's like a way of life almost.
It's a real blessing to be at schools that are really supported and the kids the kids and the parents get into the extracurriculars, whatever it is, whether it's sports or drama or whatever.
So we're going to bring in the next group, if you don't mind. So
Sounds
we're going to
good.
have Coach Todd Burson and the 3 players. Is there anything that we should surprise them with question-wise that they won't be ready for?
No, we're good.
Okay,
we're good.
all
Just
right.
good football questions. I'll be excited.
Fair
Sean's
enough.
got his go-to question with the
Well,
gas station.
I have a lot of really good football questions, and then I slip one of them in there, that they're not ready for, and it's a good prep for when they get interviewed in college and the
There we
pros and
go.
everything like that.
I
So
love it.
you kind of have to throw them off their game a little bit. So we'll shake it up a little. But if you want to go ahead and send in the next group,
Sounds good.
and then Coach, thank you so much for joining us, and bring the next group on in. Bill, if you want to go ahead and cover some of the U of A football news while we're having the player
Certainly.
change.
Okay. U of A is they're in their early preparations to open their season September 2nd at versus NAU at Arizona Stadium. A lot of expectations, a lot of kind of unknown coming into this season. Coming off a 3-8 year last year, Arizona's only got one place to go, and that's up. So we're going to see what happens. We know that a lot of things didn't go the way that they should have last year due to several key injuries to key skilled players. So with Arizona's season coming up, it's basically, I don't know, I think it's almost like a crapshoot. They could do good and they could do really well, and other times, I don't know. It's just the
It's
Pac-10
tough.
is kind of top heavy right now with Washington and USC, and then there's everybody else. So, it's going to be a good season to watch as always. Football is football, and obviously we're here to support the U of A Wildcats and all the other teams that we have here on 520 Sports.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's football. It's Tucson's version of football. It's what we have. We support our Wildcats 100%. We got a player last year from the Nighthawks that walked on to the U of A football team. So there you go. You got a little local flavor here.
Exactly.
So we have the newest group here. So I'm gonna go ahead and guess your coach.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna say, I've seen that movie.
I wish I could do what these guys are doing.
Right. So
Again.
Andy, I'm assuming we have the one microphone, right? Okay, yeah. So you'll just go ahead and just get really close to the microphone here. So, Coach, go ahead and introduce yourself and how long you've been with the program.
I'm Todd Burson. I'm the varsity receivers coach. This is my 8th season with the Nighthawks.
Wonderful. In the same role?
No, I actually did. I was the receivers coach for the first 3 years with varsity.
Okay.
And I spent 2 years with JV, 2 years with freshmen, and now I'm back with varsity.
Wonderful. So are any of these your receivers right here?
These are my 3 senior
Oh, well, there
studs.
you go. Wonderful. So 3 seniors. So
Three horses.
I know.
Yeah,
right?
these guys will do the heavy lifting this year.
So go ahead, just pass the microphone, just and introduce yourself. And I guess I would ask you normally what position you play on the field, but I guess you're receivers. I'm just gonna take a wild guess.
Well, you can tell us if you're out wide or in the slot.
Oh, okay, yeah, that'll work.
David Phelps, and I'm just a regular wideout.
Wide out, okay.
Noah Panis, I'm slot, and I also play safety.
Slot and safety, okay.
I love the two-way players.
Right.
My name is Jaden Price, and I play outside, and I play linebacker too.
Outside and linebacker, all right. So you got a lot. So basically, out of the 60 players on the team, you're on the field a lot. All right. So, what are you looking forward to the most? And we'll just go down the line about your opening road game against Marana.
Well, I think that's going to be a really exciting game. Marana, is building a really good team over there. I think it's a program that's on the rise, and it's going to be an exciting game. I think it's going to be a matchup of a couple different philosophies,
Right.
In the way we have historically been, and they're going to sling the ball around a lot.
Right.
So I think it'll be an exciting to watch that contrast and see which one comes out on top. Should be fun.
Now, Coach, obviously these are your wideouts, but is your offense predominantly, spread out? Is it kind of pass first, run second, or do you try to have a kind of an even balance?
I would think historically we've always been a run first offense.
Yeah, and at
That's
the
our
playoff
bread and
game
butter.
last season, it was definitely a run first, and you guys broke off quite a few. In the playoff, we recovered the game against Queen Creek last season here, the second playoff game. So it definitely seemed to be a run first. It did turn into a pass first in the fourth quarter a little bit.
Okay.
So close at the end. Different result this season. I'm gonna just go ahead and assume right now, but
Hopefully, yeah.
yeah.
That's the goal. So
with these 3 receivers, are you going to maybe change your philosophy a little bit as far as maybe looking downfield a little bit more, or are you still going to do ball control?
I'd like to think so. I mean, that we'd like to throw the ball a little bit more, but of course, our philosophy's always been we got to establish the run first.
Right.
That opens things up for us down the field.
Definitely. That's
I would look for us to be hopefully balanced, but I would imagine we'll stay true to our roots.
And also you have to take what the defense gives you. If they're stacking the box right there, you may get a little bit more opportunities on the outside. Get a little bit beyond, little 7-yard quick outs, things like that. Give yourself a few more opportunities. I know we were talking to Sabino last week, and they're really, really strong in the slot passing game.
Okay.
So they love to go 5-6 yards, and just chip away at
break it off,
and just sort of break it off. And if it opens up the deep passing game. I know
sure.
that they run more of a spread though, which I guess is becoming more common. So I guess it's a little bit more rare to see a team that sets it up with the run, which is interesting because you don't really see that much.
School version of football. So,
right. Well, if you saw our offense last year, we were pretty tight, a pretty tight group. Not really any true wideouts, but I think you'll see that'll be a little bit different this year. Hopefully that's the plan. But you never know. Things change. We're going to adjust throughout the season based on what works for us and what's working against our opponents.
Sure. I know you're the receivers coach, but do you still have the same backfield? I mean, do you still have the same running backs as you had last year?
We have one of our running backs back from last year, and then we've also got another. We've got a junior, an up-and-coming junior, who'll be running the ball as well, carrying the ball quite a bit.
Do you work with the running backs out in the flat, or maybe on a flare or an up and go, or do you let the running back coach?
The running backs coach works primarily with the backs, but we work together as a group of the skill players quite a bit.
Sure.
When we work the pass packages and whatnot, so these guys will work with them quite often.
So David, if you want to grab the microphone here. So how tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
6'2". So do you find that in the high school game you have a little bit of height on some of the defensive backs?
Yeah, some of the guys run a little small, so I think I can, with my height, it's pretty useful.
So do you try and use that height advantage, or that height to your advantage? I mean, do you
have it thrown up top? Are you catching it up here?
Yeah, I try to get as many balls as I can, throw back shoulder, up high fades.
A lot of back shoulder, sideline fades, things like that. So talk to us, all three of you, talk to us about the style of defensive back that you usually go up against. Is it a lot of, hit, they'll try and hit you at 5 yards and then they'll cover? Do they try and, really just stay on your case the whole time and really kind of get in your head the entire way? You have their hands on you all the time. What do you find is the most common defense played on you overall?
I find the most common is probably just like a press corner versus us, I guess. But so we don't really throw the ball that much, but when we do, they usually just press on us. So
right.
Yeah.
So, Coach, with you, being run first predominantly, are you seeing a lot of zone defenses, on the other team in their secondary because they don't feel that they have to man you up, because that way with the zone, obviously they're strong safety and on the edge they can probably play some run support too. With you being a running team, you see that? Or?
I think we see a variety of that. I mean, historically, because we've always been a run-first team, we get to deal with a lot of crowded boxes.
Right.
So, I think that kind of lends itself a little bit more towards some man coverage on the outside, which hopefully will work to our advantage this year. We'll see.
Definitely. Just so everyone knows, and I don't want to, kind of overcommit these people, but it looks like Paul Cicala from Channel 4 may be at the game.
Oh, I'm sorry, say that again?
Paul Cicala from Channel 4.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe at the game. He's saying looking forward to seeing you guys a week from Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Paul's a good guy. We saw him at...
I don't know if they're as cool as 5 Tool Sports Talk or anything like that, but at least they're going to be there.
Right. Paul, you can come on the show anytime, brother.
I saw
him at boxing at the casino last week. With them stacking the box, obviously that's a great opportunity for a tight end, because especially if they're bringing a backer and stuff. Do you guys use a lot of tight end pass patterns?
We've got more of an H-back that we'll use in that role. Or we'll put, we can bring the slot down tight if we need to.
Sure.
Very nice. All right, so finish this sentence. Okay, you ready? This season for the Nighthawks will be a success if
we win the state championship.
All right. You can't take his answer. So here's what we're gonna do. All right, here we're gonna change it up. I'll change it up. I'll be nice.
Record?
No. this season for you personally will be a success if? That way you can have 3 different answers. And just get right into the microphone because I know that kind of loud here, big crowd.
Just if I can get the ball in open space and do what I do best.
So how many receptions and yards is a good season for you?
Say 15 receptions, I guess.
There you go. There's no wrong answers. I mean, he may kick you off the team if it's a wrong answer, but don't worry about that.
Well,
All right.
with 3 talented receivers, you're going to share the ball. So
Right. Same thing. So your season will be a success if
If I don't drop the ball a lot.
you can pretty much say that for any receiver when you think about it.
That's not the answer I was looking for you.
Is he the team Butterfingers?
No.
Okay, all right.
I just don't want to drop anything.
He's being modest.
All right, fair enough.
I think we'll have a successful season if we all come together and play like the brothers. So every game that we play, we'll be playing together, playing to win. So yeah.
Now you guys, I'm gonna just put it out there. I mean, I follow football. I played football. You guys are loaded, and how do you deal with that, Coach? I mean, because these guys are young. Just like Coach Johnson was saying, these guys are young, and when you're young, you have a little bit of different mindset than when you're more mature and whatever. But these guys know they're good. You guys know they're good. How do you keep them on an even keel?
I think it starts at the lower levels. We've always been fortunate and had a really strong group of seniors that have worked their way, up the ladder, so to speak.
Right.
And so they paid their dues, they paid their bills. That's a big phrase that Coach Johnson uses all the time. You got to pay your bills, and they really accept that, and they take it to heart. And so that when they get to be the senior leader, they try to emulate those guys that kind of brought them up. And
Gotcha.
so it's really a family atmosphere. I think that's what works best for us. And we occasionally you get a guy that sometimes you got to reel him in a little bit. But for the most part, we rely on these guys to set the tone,
Right.
and bring the guys below them up in the right way so that they can fill their shoes the next year.
So really quickly here, we have a lot of live viewers right now, and if you are watching here live or at home on Facebook Live, hit the share button right now. I want to double our viewers starting now. Also, if you are watching live and you want to ask a question, we only have 2 more minutes with this group right here because we have 2 more groups of Nighthawk players and coaches to be interviewed. So if you have a question right now, go ahead and send it through. Also, smash that share button and make sure that we double that viewership because we want to bring a lot of attention to local Northwest Side Oro Valley football. I know you guys have a great following, but there's always room for more.
Sure.
There's a lot of room in the stands,
We have room in our stadium, so come on down and watch us play. It should be an exciting year.
And they have a really great snack bar, by the way. I'm just going to throw that out there. There's some quality eats going on at the Ironwood Ridge game.
Yeah, we've got Chick-fil-A, we've got Sonoran dogs, we've got
I'm just saying, there's a lot of good stuff there. So whoever's sharing it, thank you very much. We just increased the viewers, so thank you so much for sharing it. We really appreciate it. So last chance for you to send questions across here. Okay, so now here's my fun question. The one that I kind of trip everyone up with, and if you watched the show last week, which I know a lot of you did, you're going to know. I have 2 questions I can ask you, and you can choose which one you want to answer. All right? Favorite? Okay, David, we'll start with you. Oh, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to ask you different ones. Here we go. So you don't even get to know. Favorite gas station food and favorite gas station drink?
I'm gonna have to go with a Polar Pop and extra flaming hot.
And what was it? What was the food?
Extra hot flaming hots.
Oh, there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
That's a new one.
I know it.
That's the
the
first.
Polar Pop is very popular.
Polar Pop's popular.
But the Flamin' Hots, haven't had that one yet.
No, that's new.
Okay, so different question for you. You're on a deserted island. You can only bring 3 things with you. What do you bring?
Probably. Am I allowed to bring people?
Sure. I didn't discriminate.
People would be nice.
Yeah.
I'd probably bring my brother, my girlfriend, and a football.
Brother, a girlfriend, and the football. Maybe not in that order. We're just going to throw that out there. All right. I'm going to have to get creative with this one. NSYNC or the Backstreet Boys? I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'm totally kidding.
It's like, this isn't a cheerleader show.
What? I'm like, no. It's more like One Direction or Justin Bieber. I'm sorry. Okay, no. Okay, so
I've got one if you don't.
No, here we go. No, I was gonna say, favorite memory from a bus ride from last season.
Favorite memory of a bus ride?
From a bus ride last season.
Our game versus Tucson High, the way back. So that game ended pretty crazy. So the way back was a lot of fun on the bus.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll leave the details out. It is a family show. There may have been some improper language or, things like that.
So with you guys, I want to ask you a question here. I mean, obviously, you got a blockbuster first game against the Tigers. At a conference, let's go slip back into your conference. Your coaches are going to tell you, just like my coaches tell you, one game at a time, you don't look ahead. But deep down inside, you know who you want to play, whether it's a revenge factor from last year or you got friends on the team and you want to, one-up them or whatever. What's the game that you guys are looking forward to in conference the most?
I'm looking forward to Queen Creek and Cienega because Queen Creek last year and Cienega, we both lost to both those teams post-game, so I'm excited to play both those teams this year.
Cienega made a lot of people lose last season, so I understand that revenge factor. We only have one more minute with this group, so I want to ask one more question from the crowd here that asked.
Oh, I thought they were going to teach.
I know, I want to, but I want to give enough time to the other players, so I want to ask, you could all answer this question right now. How have you been preparing in the off-season?
I've been working on, we have all been working on routes and making sure we get open for the ball and everything like that. And making sure we open up for the run game, even if we are catching the ball, if we're just running routes.
Obviously hitting the weight room.
Yeah, the weight room's training all the time. That's all you really need to do.
Yeah, a lot of lifting, a lot of running, a lot of practices, 2 days. Just getting ready for the season.
I was never a fan of the you have to
after
jump
the
between
third
those
year, you
ropes
kind
and
of
stuff
get
like
used to
that.
it.
I know, but even as a senior,
never
I didn't
handled
like 2-a-days.
All right, wonderful.
And we started school in September, so our 2-a-days were like August.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to send in the next group, which is Coach Reed and David, Braden, and Aaron. If you want to send them in, I'm going to go ahead.
Guys.
I'm going to go through the sponsors one more time.
Looking for some big things from you guys.
Thank you guys very much. We're going to go through the sponsors one more time. And I want a special shout out to Brittany Palma, the A to B team with First Heritage Realty. She and her family are actually here joining us live tonight. Thank you so much, Brittany. Move the healthy way. Brittany Palma with the A to B team.
Any of our sponsors, we'd love to have you at the shows. I mean, you're the reason that we, between you and Andy running the show, you're the reason we're here. So always feel free to stop by, these live remotes and, say hi, check us out, and look at the incredible, crowd and following that each of these schools and athletes have.
Exactly. We're here at Bianchi's Italian Restaurant. So join us here at corner of Tangerine and Thornydale, where half the show is done. You still have time to join us for some Ironwood Ridge Nighthawk football. Amazing Italian food, pasta, pizza, salad, sandwiches, the whole deal. Come on. They have calamari.
Yes.
They have calamari. It's good stuff, so make sure to join us. Bianchi's Italian, they are our newest sponsor here at 520 Sports Talk, so make sure to patronize them. Oasis Air Conditioning and Heating, with the heat still staying at about 1 billion degrees outside. I may be embellishing a little bit. It may be slightly less, maybe like 9.7 million degrees. But still, it's pretty close. Make sure your air conditioning is working, and then when it does eventually cool off in January.
It's going to rain next week, but with the rain comes the humidity. So.
Exactly. Also, Stray Dogs down at River and Stone. Stray Dogs, fantastic food there, mac and cheese, 17-inch donuts, milkshakes. I don't know if you guys have been to Stray Dogs, but place is insane. So,
and we will be there the next 2 weeks.
Yes, and then also once you're done pigging out at all these wonderful restaurants that sponsor us here, go down to see John Marshall at Snap Fitness. Fantastic personal trainer down there. River and La Cañada, John Marshall over at Snap Fitness.
24/7.
Yes. And then once you lose all that weight, you can eat at Meech's. Fine Mexican food down on 4th Avenue, MeechesCatering.com. Also, another wonderful eatery that sponsors us is Zona 78. Out on the east side, we were there last week with the Sabino Sabercats. Thundercats? I'm just kidding.
Sabercats, the purple and gold.
Yes. And then a couple of ones I do want to take time to mention. Andy Taylor Media, thank you so much for being a part of sports, 512 Sports Talk from the very beginning. And TucsonAlist.com. If you're looking for a quality service provider, TucsonAlist.com. So again, thank you. We have a new group here, some fresh faces. If you are watching right now and you want to bring some attention to the newest group, smash the share button while you're watching on Facebook to double the viewership, at least, maybe triple it. Let's get us into thousands of people watching this.
You guys got you got some competition. I meant just to go over some numbers real quick. Last year we had 45,000 when we had Ty Grigsby on from Rincon after he smashed the state touchdown record with 8 versus Buena. I think we had 2,500 with Marana last year. What are some of the other?
They got this. OV represent.
So tell
my
Nighthawk
son's going to go to Ironwood in a couple years.
Liking emojis.
Exactly.
All right.
Wonderful. So thank you so much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and start with the gentleman with the microphone right now. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, how long you've been with the program, and I don't know. Should we have a fun follow-up to that? Nah, we'll start there. Your role with the team and how long you've been with the program.
I'm Raymond Reed. I am the newest linebackers coach. This is my first year with the program.
Okay.
Excited to be here.
Let me ask you this, Coach. Where did you play football? Because I know you're a baller.
I played at Bartlett High School in Anchorage, Alaska. Shout out to Golden Bears.
Golden Bears.
Yeah.
Sounds
My
good.
sister's in Anchorage right now. She's doing an internship, and she's loving every minute of Anchorage, Alaska.
Yeah,
It's a great
you're the prototype linebacker. It's like, this guy's a linebacker.
I actually never played linebacker. I played corner and receiver.
But
receiver?
You've got this.
I developed some sauce in my
There you go.
Did you have to carry around bear mace?
No.
That's a thing now.
No, it was a thing when I was a kid. We had bears run onto the field and during track practice.
I mean,
when
she got there, my sister is doing an internship for a PhD in Anchorage, and they said, look, before you do anything, just go down to the store and get some bear mace because we've had some maulings lately, and I'm thinking...
It's pretty regular.
Wow.
I didn't know they had bear
salmon
mace.
and bear mace.
Yeah.
So it's a big thing.
They have bear whistles, too.
Bear whistles?
Yeah.
Does that really stop them?
I've never tried it, so I wouldn't.
How do you test that out?
Yeah, I know. Either you're live or you're not. Yeah.
I think it might just be a regular whistle that they tell you to use when a bear's around.
It's
interesting.
Hey, but you know what? So there you go.
I've been playing on that hard field when it was,
Yeah, end of the season, the field's frozen, your hands are frozen, your feet are frozen. It's a welcome change.
Lambeau Field has nothing on them.
So what have you learned so far as the linebackers coach and joining a new group?
We have a really tenacious group. I think that they're really driven. We have strong leadership in that group. We're really sound technically. I think that they dedicate themselves to their craft every day. They come knowing that we're going to work, we're going to sweat, we're going to do everything we have to do to be better than we were the day before. And I think they embrace the process. They're not really reluctant to rising in the moment. They're not afraid to chase greatness, and knowing that when you show up every day, that's the goal, to be great.
Now, are you playing a 4-3 or are you playing a 3-4?
We just
Or you're mixing it up.
We just
Play
play defense. We play defense, and
see they don't reveal what they do.
We play the best defense we can, and
both teams play both.
try to play it as consistently as we can.
Right. So, all right, we'll go ahead, and if you want to introduce yourself, your position, what year you are in school, and all that good stuff.
All right, I'm David Becerra. I'm an outside linebacker. I'm currently a senior, and I've only been in Ironwood for 3 years. I moved here my sophomore year. So.
Okay. All right, wonderful. Go ahead and pass it down here.
I'm Braden Smith. I'm defensive tackle, defensive end. Been playing for 4 years here. Third year on varsity.
I was gonna say this doesn't look like a all linebacking crew right now.
Unless he's in the middle or something.
Right.
My name's Aaron Valenzuela. I'm a senior offensive and defensive lineman. This is gonna be my 4th year at Ironwood. So.
All right. So if
you
had
guys
to
are
choose,
pretty upperclassmen, strong on the D side.
So if you had to choose offense or defense, you can only play one. What do you choose?
I'd have to go with offense just because it holds a pretty special place in my heart because that's what I've played all 4 years here at Ironwood. All technically, it just takes a lot of mental and physical strength. And, it's just a great time always lining up on the ball and just having a good time. I love it.
Do any of you have interest right now? Well, obviously you probably want to continue to play football past your senior year, but any plans, any people looking at you right now, and if so, where would you like to play next season?
I was talking to UNLV over the summer, and I was talking to University of Colorado over the summer. So looking to hear back from them after they get this senior year highlight film in.
Very nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, right now, let's see. So, yeah, I'm talking to Colorado School of Mines. So, yeah, a lot of maybe smaller football schools, but a lot of bigger academically strong schools. So.
There you go.
Academics is what's going to pay the rent.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. With that 3-year football career, that's the average in the NFL. We were talking to Coach Johnson about. So, all right, bring it on over back to David here.
I'm not really looking to play football after high school. I'm just looking to go to school and get my degree. So,
what would you like to do?
For?
Yeah,
maybe business, minor in like criminal justice or.
Oh, there you go.
Both good degrees.
Right.
Yeah.
I always hate asking, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Because
Yeah.
you're talking to, like, seniors in high school. But at the same time, kind of appropriate, you know, when you think about it. So what are you looking forward to most about the Marana game coming up in about a week and a half?
Just to see how we all work together and how we all function, like whether we're up, whether we're down, just like how we have each other's backs and whatnot.
It's got to be. I mean, we went over this with the last group. I mean, you and Marana, in my opinion, and I'm sure others, are the two premier Northwest Side schools. I mean, even though you're not in the same division and whatnot, you know, it's a clash of the titans. I mean, you know, it's mono on mono, it's strength against strength.
Yeah.
Both of you guys are I'm sure going to be in the playoffs in October, November, and you know, who knows, you know, how far after that. But I know that they're not your natural rivals, but I'm sure that, you know, I mean, you guys know each other. You guys have played each other before, whether it's just, you know, player versus player. You have friends over there and stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent program. I mean, you have an outstanding program. They have an outstanding program. Does it give you a little bit more, you know, just drive when you see a game like that, especially to start off the season?
Definitely.
That's a killer opening game. I mean, you know, you're going right into the teeth of it, of your schedule. You're not playing, you know, the Three Shepherds and, you know.
Yeah, it's better to start off
Little
with
Sisters
like a
not playing an
you know.
Alabama non-conference schedule, you know.
Well, I mean, but that's nice, though, because you get a real test right from the get-go. You're not playing any cupcakes right at the beginning, so you really get a true test. And you're really going to see what's working and what's not working right from the very beginning. The in-game adjustments are going to be super crucial to kind of see where the strengths are, where the weaknesses are, what's working, what's not working, and make in-game adjustments that you're going to be able to carry into your next 3 or 4 games. And then when you come back and, you know, first game at home is until week 5. Are there any buys in there, or is it 4 straight road games and back home?
I believe we have a bye
in September.
Who does your schedule? I mean, Sabino's on the road for 4 straight too. It's like,
who's scheduling the Tucson team? What's going on right now? We do have a question. It's an Alaska-related question, so if you want to field that one.
Okay.
Are there polar bears in Alaska?
Is that from Heath B. Miller?
No, it's from Noe Becerra.
Oh, okay. He's sitting with Heath B. Miller. There are not polar bears in Alaska unless they're in the zoo. Because polar bears live at the poles and not
polar bears
near the Arctic Ocean or the Bering Sea. So thank you, Noe and Heath. I appreciate that.
You never
and
know.
you'll come up with some polar bear thing. You know?
He's coming up next.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want to fire up your phone and ask some pretty ridiculous questions for the next round, you feel free to do that. We encourage a little bit of additional fun on the show, which is why if you were listening to the last group, we don't ask all football questions. Sometimes you need to break it up a little bit. If you want to play in college, you need to be able to answer some of the sillier questions. And I'm going to have to come up with some other ones because I kind of burned the other ones in the last group. So, okay.
I got a couple of them. I don't know how silly they are, but
I do want to go over. I don't want to ask the state championship question, but I do want to go with on a personal level. What would be a successful season to you?
I think a successful season to me would be just our defense dominating up front and our defense, the linebackers dominating, the safeties and corners dominating, just overall the defensive side dominating everything. So I think defense, if you have a great defense, you'll win most of the games.
Okay. We did get a fun question, so when you're done, I have a great one for you guys.
So yeah, you know, it's hard for me to kind of have a personal goal, but I would say as a unit, I would like our offensive line to really have our communication down on point. You know, from picking up backers, picking up blitzes and stuff like that. I would just really want a strong central unit. Because, I mean, in my eyes, the whole team is, a huge, athlete pretty much. And I see the line as the heart of it. So, yeah, I think that would be a good thing for me to do, to try to lead the offensive line into a stronger team.
Definitely. Bring it on down here.
I would also say that hoping our defense is one unit. Like we all know our jobs. We don't do other people's jobs. We all like just being a successful defense at the end of the season.
Okay, Coach, for you, with your first year here, what will be a success for you and your crew this season?
I would say overall, just enjoying the process, trusting the process, embracing the grind, and knowing that every Friday night we left everything we had out there, that we didn't shortchange ourselves, that we followed through with everything we believed in and everything we've worked on for all these months that we've been out here working. And just to see it come to fruition, to see all of the hard work pay off, and just to see these young men be able to grow together and experience and live in the moment that is their senior, junior, sophomore year, because it is something that you remember forever.
Yeah.
And I just would love to be able to walk away from this season and say that this team was a team, that they left everything out there, they did everything they could to be a unit. Because more important than any individual statistic is the team.
Right.
And if one fails, we all fail.
What's the biggest thing? I mean, you guys were very successful last year. I know you lost to Queen Creek in the playoffs, but what's the biggest thing motivation-wise or even learning-wise, maybe a mistake from last year, bringing into this season that you want to improve on learning-wise or continue motivation-wise?
One thing that I've picked up in my time in the program is that we do push knowing your alignment, your assignment, your attack, knowing everything you're supposed to be doing, and being prepared for your opponent mentally. And it's something that not a lot of high schools experiment with, not a lot of high schools adopt, but it's something that I think that these young men they've really embraced a challenge, because it is a lot.
Right.
Some of the things that we do are designed to get them mentally prepared to be challenged on a Friday night on a 3rd and 17. Where are you supposed to be? What's the call that you're going to make? Where are you going to look first? How does your read look? And so I think that they're preparing themselves really well, and we've really put ourselves in a position as a unit, as a team, as coaches and players, to know where we're supposed to be and what our contribution to the overall team goal is.
Definitely. All right, so we have time for 2 more questions, and I already have them loaded up here. So, Braden, someone may have your phone. I'm going to just throw that out there.
Yeah.
This question goes for the 2 of you. I have a separate question for you, and then we're going to bring in the last group. Who would win in a fight? 50 centaurs or 50 men on horses?
I think 50 men on horses will win.
Again, why?
Because
mobility.
I think humans they can think more than 50 centaurs.
All right. David, we're going to ask you the same question. Coach. We broke Coach.
I'm gonna have to go with centaurs.
And these are fans' questions, or we didn't come up.
We didn't come up with this. I mean, it may have come from the table over to your right. I'm just saying, but
Yeah, I'm going with centaurs.
Okay,
right, so
and why?
We got 1-1.
We have 1 and 1. All right. So, no, Aaron. Why? We have a separate question for Aaron. This comes from family.
All right.
All right, Aaron. How many peanut butter sandwiches have you eaten today?
I mean, let's see. Today, I would say. So let's see. I got home. Got one.
I'm getting the feeling the number is more than 2.
Life for an offensive lineman, it's all eating. You got to eat the right foods. But let's see. I would have to say probably 3.
All right. I was expecting a little more, but that's fine.
Yep.
All right, and then the last question, follow-up question.
Right.
Oh, have you had peanut butter sandwiches too? I don't want to ignore you. All right. Okay. How much did Grandpa Bob motivate your career?
Okay. Yeah. So yeah. For those of you who don't know, my grandfather, he played for Auburn University. He was a halfback, I believe.
War Eagle.
Yeah, War Eagle. There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh man, he's pretty much the model student athlete. He had straight A's in high school. He got to play for a great university. But yeah, his characters really just motivated me to push myself, not only for my family but my brothers on this team. and just to leave it all out on the field. Because I mean, if you give it all you got, and that's all you can do, and that's what I'm trying to do.
So Grandpa Bob's gotta love my comment on the weak non-conference schedule that Bama plays.
Oh man.
Well, yeah, probably a little bit. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you want to take 10 seconds each and say hi to whoever you want to, right into that blue camera right over there.
Shout out to Octo.
Johnson Records.
Johnson.
Shout out to McKinley. Hi, Poppy loves you.
Thanks,
Thank
fellas.
you guys so much. The last group's going to be coming in right now. We have a lot of updates coming through, so.
Just a little bit about next week's show. We will, like we said, be back at Stray Dogs. We will have the Pima College women's volleyball team at Stray Dogs, so you definitely want to come out if you haven't been to Stray Dogs. A wonderful place for a live remote. They treat us right. They give us the red carpet treatment.
Yes.
And then the following week, also at Stray Dogs, we will be having the Empire High School Ravens football team. And I will have a article and a short video up on the Facebook page tonight. After the show, I had an interview with some of the coaches and players at Empire earlier today.
All right, wonderful. So if you want to just start, we're going to leave this microphone over here. We'll start right over here. Go ahead and introduce yourself, how long you've been with the program.
So I'm Ryan Maish. I've coached with Coach Johnson for forever, and I've pretty much followed him since we started in 2009 at Ridge.
My name is Noe Becerra. I've been playing football for 4 years at Ironwood Ridge, 3-year varsity player.
4-year class clown?
Yes, sir.
Ah, yes. All right.
Heath B. Miller. I play quarterback, and it's my 4th year at Ironwood Ridge. Also 3rd year varsity on varsities.
Are you the starter?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm Nick Brayler. This is my 2nd year on varsity, 4th year playing at Ironwood, and I played running back.
Running back. All right, so I'm going to go with the questions that we have not asked before. Who was your favorite professional player and why?
Peyton Manning. I just grew up when I was little watching him, and for some reason, ever since I was like about 5 years old until he retired, I always admired his style, and he was pretty much my idol growing up.
Very consistent player.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Favorite Peyton Manning commercial?
Oh.
Nation.
Yeah. The one where he talks about his, I don't remember what sandwich it was.
I know which one.
Chicken parm.
Chicken parm.
So
yeah. Fair enough. All right. Same question.
QB.
Favorite player. Right.
I don't really know if I have a favorite player at the time, or overall, but
Past or present,
right now,
fine.
I think Eric Berry, because
Okay.
I'm a Chiefs fan, right? So, and I just kind of like how he overcame the cancer thing and still going strong. So,
Exactly. No, very good player. Very good. Actually, really good touching story as well.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
I love Marshawn Lynch. I'm
Beast mode.
big Seahawks fan, and I think he's awesome. I mean,
Do you like Skittles?
I love Skittles.
All right.
They're great.
Did you? I know. What are you, 16, maybe 17 years old? Did you happen to catch Marshawn Lynch when he played for the Cal Bears? Because he was a beast even back then.
You know, I have seen videos, and he was,
Yeah.
and I agree.
Yeah.
He's a great man.
So, are you upset that he's on the Raiders now?
That was a devastating loss.
Now, let me ask you a question because
That should
there's
be
been
good
a lot
though,
of.
because they're in Vegas. That's a short 1 hour plane trip.
Yeah, I know, but they're not in Vegas yet. They probably won't be for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
But that being said, do you think that there was an issue with the team in Seattle that made him sit out a year to come back and play professional, or was it just he's kind of that dude? You know, he's kind of that guy. Like, I don't really feel like playing anymore. You know what? Nah, I feel like playing again.
I think that's definitely the case. I think he was just like, maybe I'm done. Maybe my body's just over it, and then took a year off and realized it wasn't, and then he decided to go beast mode again.
And I'm going to throw out my favorite Marshawn Lynch quote. I don't know if you heard this one. I'm just here so I won't get fined.
That's exact. I was about to say the same thing, sir.
Right. So,
I would say my favorite players were from when the Broncos won the Super Bowls, but Rod Smith and Terrell Smith.
Right.
Rod Smith was awesome because he was undrafted and just kind of worked his way all the way up as the gentleman's player and always having good, pretty much sportsmanship off the field, but just a great person. And then it was awesome to see John Elway win Super Bowl.
I was going to say, and back to back at that. I mean,
I'm from San Diego, so I'm real partial to Terrell Davis too because he went to high school in San Diego. So.
Yeah, Terrell Davis was awesome.
Oh, I'm getting some amazing questions right now coming across.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna keep it football because we only have about 6 minutes left. I'm gonna keep it football for now. What is, aside from your first game against Marana, what game are you most excited for this season?
There's a couple, yeah. Either Mountain View, CDO, or Queen Creek.
So Queen Creek's on the regular season schedule?
Yeah.
Here or there?
Here.
All right, so it'll be here. It'll be payback for last season. So that'll be good.
Yep.
All right.
The game I'm most looking forward to is probably either Queen Creek or Cienega, because last year we did lose to them, and I'm just kind of redemption payback. So
yeah, definitely.
A lot of good teams on their schedule.
Yeah, there's top to bottom. I would say that there's probably not an easy week on the schedule.
You don't have a week. You don't have an off week. For
our easiest week is our bye week. So.
Yeah. You have no cupcakes on that schedule.
It's an easy win, that bye week, though.
Yeah,
it is.
An easy win. You can go ahead and count one right there.
I would say Cienega. Just, I feel like that game was so close at the end, and I would just like to see how it would play out a year later.
Well, it's one of the closer games that they had.
Yeah.
Because they were blowing everyone out for the most part. They rolled over a lot of teams last season. And kind of a disappointing finish for them when you think about it. When you end up smashing everyone pretty considerably, to not win the whole thing is got to be pretty tough.
Which one of you guys are seniors? All of you. Okay. So let me ask you this: your last year as a Nighthawk, what's it going to feel like opening night, running out of your locker room, or where you're going to be in Marana, but let's say just for the sake of running out of the tunnel. What's it going to feel like? First game, last season.
I've been literally having dreams about being back on the football field on Friday nights, so I can't wait. Adrenaline's going to be pumping, and it's going to be a great game.
It's going to be my last year, first game, but I kind of got to treat it like it's a normal game so I don't get too emotional.
Too overhyped.
I just got to stay focused on winning the game. So.
I agree with Nick. I think it's going to feel real good. Be able to go out there and prove ourselves one last year. Show that we can be the best team that we could be. We've been working for 4 years for this. There's no more chances.
Right. Last call for questions right now. We do have one that we're going to ask, but last call for questions, last chance to share the broadcast, and then we do have only about 4 minutes left. So, Coach, I'm going to give you an answer that you can't give. Any other answers are acceptable. Finish this sentence. This season for Ironwood Ridge football will be a success if, and you cannot say winning a state championship.
This season, Ironwood Ridge would have a success. Number one, if we can stay healthy. That's always number one on my mind.
On every team.
Yeah. Stay healthy, stay classy on and off the field, and give your best effort every play.
There you go.
That's right.
All right, so I do have one question that I don't want to end with, because it may come from someone over there. But it's a good one because I don't have to go over to the old standby. So here we go. Goes for all four of you if you want. Okay, so now we have two questions. Here we go. All right. Would you rather be a dragon or own a dragon?
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Oh, I feel like this has been asked before.
You have no clue. Okay, so if you if you are the dragon, it is better for you because you're the dragon.
I feel like I was expecting a little bit more from that answer. But
I'd rather own a dragon just because I could still be me and then have a dragon just laying around.
Plus you can watch that movie.
Hey, I got a dragon.
Oh, what do you have? A lab, a golden retriever? No, I've got a freaking dragon.
That's right.
I got a dragon. He doesn't. So.
That's right.
Okay.
I have to agree. I really want a dragon. You have your free transportation. You have a
free transportation.
You have a guardian always looking after you, and
it's a win-win situation, right?
They get their own food.
Okay, so here we go. We have it's time for one last question, and it did come across right now. So, what is your favorite pregame meal?
You go first. I think.
You go first. I gotta think.
Peanut butter sandwiches? I'm kidding.
Anything that will fill me up, but usually my mom will make some pasta, and usually we have some players on the team over and come over and eat. So it fills you up.
Carb load.
It tastes good. So
yeah.
And you're at a pasta restaurant here. So.
Yeah, right.
Usually the past 3 years, I've been going to like Subway before the game and just getting some, and then coming back to the school and just chilling until game time. So usually that's what gets the job done. Just sub sandwich and some cookies.
Headphones on, music going.
Exactly.
All right.
There you go.
I don't eat due to nerves
Ever.
and always excitement before a game.
Okay.
Well, as my coach said, if you don't have butterflies, you're not ready to play.
Exactly. Nothing can come up.
Right.
Pre-game meal, I'd have to say probably definitely a pasta, like chicken Alfredo or something like that.
Attaboy.
You gotta go with the heavy cream sauce. I'm kind of surprised it could repeat, as it were.
It could be the gift that kept on giving.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm going to give you guys 10, 15 seconds to go ahead and say hello to anyone you'd like to in the blue camera. Grab the microphone if you want to say hi to anyone.
I have no idea who's watching right now. So.
Everyone.
I just want to give a shout out to anybody from the team from last year. If anybody's watching.
All right.
This one's for you guys.
Anything?
No. All right. Coach?
Everybody you know lives in town?
All right. Bill, would you rather be a dragon or own a dragon?
I think I would rather own a dragon. Like you said, the chicks dig dragons.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it's a lonely life as a dragon. I don't know if, it's hard to, pick up dragon chicks or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how that life would go. Yeah. So it's kind of up in the air. Andy, would you rather be a dragon or own a dragon?
I am a dragon.
He is a dragon. Oh,
the bearded dragon.
And that's a mic drop moment for the show right there.
That's right.
That is a mic dropping moment. So thank you so much to the Ironwood Ridge Nighthawk football team for joining us. A week from Friday out at Marana. What time is kickoff?
7.
The game you do not want to miss.
Yes.
If you are doesn't even matter if you're a Marana Tiger fan, a Nighthawk fan. If you like football, that's the game to go to on week 1 because you're going to see two quality teams that have had success, throughout the years. They both respect each other, but they both want to knock heads against each other. So if you get a chance to go out to Marana's football field, that's the game probably of the week, I would say.
Yeah.
Sean will be there,
I'll be there
covering it. So stay tuned to the 520 Sports Talk. He'll probably have some live updates for him. Maybe assistant producer Liam will be with them or something.
Yeah, that's my son. Assistant producer. He's 12 years old. So assistant producer.
Does a great job.
Junior producer, as it were. But he may want to kick for you guys in a couple of years.
Yeah, sweet.
So, mostly because he's still a little shorter than me, and I'm 5'4", in direct sunlight. So he's not going to be super tall.
He's got a good jump shot though.
He does. So he'll be a 2-sport athlete. So I'll train him to kick those 35-yarders. We'll be good to go. But again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Coach Johnson. Thank you to the rest of the team for being here.
Also, thank Nighthawk Nation for also joining us here at Bianchi's. We appreciate seeing the parents, the boosters. It's all about the kids. Let's support them.
Yes.
That's what 520 Sports Talk's all about. We get an hour with you guys. TV in Tucson, you might get 10 or 15 seconds. We got you for an hour.
Yeah, so we appreciate it. So thank you guys very much. Remember, next week at Stray Dogs, we will have the Pima women's volleyball team on the show. The next 2 weeks, we will be at Stray Dogs. Make sure to join us here. Take advantage of Bianchi's up here in Marana. Great atmosphere, great patio with an awesome view and fantastic food. Again, for Bill, Andy, I am Sean. We will see you next week, episode 47. Thanks for watching 520 Sports Talk.
Peace.